immigration case. They're worried about whether or not they're going to continue to be eligible for the immigration benefit and overall how his presidency is going to affect the overall processing of cases. I started practicing immigration law in 2009, so during Obama and then Trump and then Biden and then now it's going to be Trump again. I don't handle cases where somebody is going to get deported or they're in immigration court. I handle more cases where somebody's applying for an immigration benefit, so I'm going to speak from that perspective. During Trump's presidency, the main differences that I saw was the slowdown in processing times. So during Obama's presidency, cases were processing pretty quickly, but during Trump, it slowed down quite a bit. One of the huge things that I saw for those who were applying for green cards was that there was a requirement for them to prove that they were not going to become a public charge, so meaning that they weren't going to be dependent on public benefits. So there was this whole separate form that required a lot of information about the person's financial history. That separate form was for those who were applying for a green card in the US, and that wasn't required for those who were applying for an immigrant visa to immigrate to the US to get their green cards. However, it seemed that at the US consulates, they were actually also being more strict in looking at the person's background, their age, their work history, their education, and things like that to determine whether or not they thought the person would become a public charge. I don't see him taking away the eligibility for somebody to apply for a green card based on, let's say, marriage to a US citizen or a green card holder, or let's say applying for a green card through employment. I also don't see him stopping all immigration cases from processing. But what I do see happening is that he's going to put in stricter requirements for those who are applying for a green card because he wants to make sure that those people are going to be productive members of society. I think we all know where Trump stands on US immigration law and that he has a stricter approach to enforcing the US immigration laws. He said he's going to carry out the biggest mass deportation in US history for those who are here undocumented. We have yet to see how that's going to be carried out because that's going to take a massive amount of resources, and our immigration court system, detention centers are already backed up as it is. Trump can also issue executive orders that will affect US immigration procedures and processes. So you might be wondering, well, what can I do now? I think that regardless of who the president is, if you have an immigration benefit that you think you qualify for or that you know you qualify for, now is a good time to apply for it or talk to an attorney like myself about whether or not you can qualify for the immigration benefit and what you need to do to prepare for it. There are going to be things that you can control and you can't control in life. That's just how life is. But for things that you can control, like your immigration case, it's better to get started on it now or at least talk to an immigration attorney to see where you stand. I know there are still some people out there who qualify for an immigration benefit and who could have actually been citizens by now, but they just never started their immigration case because they were scared or had other reasons why they didn't apply. So for those who have been holding off on applying or even talking to an immigration attorney to see if you qualify, my advice to you is be proactive because no one is going to do it for you. You have to be the one to initiate it and take control of what you can control. There's definitely going to be changes in US immigration procedures and processes in the next 4 years, and I'll be here to keep you posted on those updates, so make sure you like and follow.